Good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here. Follow me on my sewing journey, and I hope I can inspire you to get to doing something in your sewing room. We're going to do dogs first. Hello, everybody in the chat. Here we go. This is what we live with all day, every day. Yeah, we have Dottie. She is a 10-week-old today, Blue Heeler Corgi. And Frito is being a fantastic big sister. She's just really, Frito is like a different dog. It's just such a wonderful thing. Hi, everybody. Great to see you guys. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's do the doggy treats first, and then Daddy's going to babysit. So let's get this out of the way. Y'all. Isn't she tough? Let's do this. Okay, Frito, let's get down to business. Sit. You gonna sit? Come over here, Frito. We need a Frito visit. We gotta see you too, darling. Yes. We need a Frito visit. Sit down. You gonna sit? Sit. Good girl. There you go. Yes, you get one too there. Bubble butt. You just rubber everything. All right. And very good. These are your Dave biscuits. There's your stick. And then here's your biscuit. Here. All right. Well, you can get that later. Let me let her out. She likes to go chew on the carpet. Out you go. Okay. Okay. Dottie's going to get her little. Okay. We've done that. Let's get down to business, shall we? Sorry, you guys. I have to do that every day. I know some of you are like, I did not come here to watch your dogs, but a lot of people do. And I have a lot of young people who watch the channel too, and they love to see the puppies. So they love being seen by you too. Lots of virtual pets and hugs and belly rubs for sure. All right, so I'm standing up here today because I finished the t-shirt quilt. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. So I walked you through, I did a video on preparing to do a t-shirt quilt, how to back the t-shirts themselves, how to cut them. And there are a million different ways to make a t-shirt quilt. Hold on a second. I got to take this little one. Come here. I'm going to put you outside the baby gate. I'm going to say bye. Yes. You say bye. Look at that. She's adorable. Gosh, you just can't get mad at her ever. All right, sweetie, go see Daddy. Go find Frito. And so your thought, Karen says, my thought is your channel, your content. There you go. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I know. I kind of feel that way too. I get that. I see comments that say, I didn't come here to look at your dogs. And I'm like, yeah, lots of other channels out there. Knock yourself out. Feel free. So I got it done and it is ready to go to my friend Dana. I had shown y'all the picture of Keith and I and Frank and Dana in Hawaii in November of 23 for my 60th birthday. And the back has a piece of fuzz on it, is a pattern called City Streets. And I used like an eggplant color thread on the back and then a variegated white, silver, gray on the front to make it all work so that it looked right no matter what color t-shirt it was in. Variegated thread is great for that. But anyway, I am very happy with this. It turned out wonderful. And she absolutely loves it. So I'm going to take it down and pack it up and get it to her. This is the easiest way to make a t-shirt quilt that works. Is just, you can do 3 or 4 across, depending on how big you want it to be. And then one extra, whatever you have across, do one extra row down. And that'll give you that rectangular feel. And I have a 15-inch OmniGrid ruler, square ruler, that is just for these blocks. That's why I bought it. And because that allows you to see the print, you know, through it, and you can get it centered and everything. And I'll show you, we even had like this one down here from Myrtle Beach, Harley Davidson. The words just a little bit are in the seam allowance. Sometimes that happens. That she had it, and that's okay. And a little bit off the top as well. You can see that went in there. Sometimes the logo pictures on the back of these shirts or the front, whatever, especially the back, are just ginormous, and they're bigger than the 15-inch, and something's got to give. Not a big deal because you could still read it, right? You can still see what it says. And then just try to get everything else as centered as possible. And it turned out awesome. I put my little label on there, my Power Tools with Thread label. I get these at Dutch Label Shop, not sponsored. And I put on there 2025 to Dana from Becky, rest in peace, Frank Mirabelli, RIP Frank Mirabelli. So there it is, all done. And I told my husband, I said, if I ever have a soft moment and tell someone that, or tell him I'm thinking of making a t-shirt quilt for someone, he's to remind me how much I don't like doing that. It was an honor to make it for her, but I'm not a fan. Super easy to do. I'm just not a fan. I did put Pellon's 911F, which is the featherweight. It's a single-sided non-woven fusible that does not shrink. That's one of the things I love about using that 911F. I know some people like to use some other stuff or whatever, but 911F is what you find inside of front bands on shirts and collars. It's designed for garments. So it's not going to shrink on you like SF101 will, which is cotton. So, okay. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. I appreciate all the accolades on the t-shirt quilt. Okay, so back over here, we're going to come over to my sewing area, to my sewing machine. Let me hold on, you guys. I got to bring you down. Okay, hold on. We're coming down. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, my t-shirt is from Allie M Tees. I have a link below. Betty Boop uses 906F. She says it's a little bit lighter. That may be. I couldn't find it. 911 works. Okay. We're going to talk about these stars for Autumn Love in a minute. Awesome. Got a lot done this weekend. So that t-shirt quilt took up my Friday. I had to, let me see. I don't want this to fall. Okay. That t-shirt quilt took up my Friday. I had to, let me see, get a couple more rows done. It was a row and a half that needed done on the bottom of the t-shirt quilt on the long arm. And I had just been happening to watch a lady on YouTube. I can't remember her name or the channel, but she was talking about problems with long arming. And I was just that last row and a half, I was having trouble. I couldn't get the tension right with the bobbin. And so she started, she was talking about threads in general. And then she said something about, if you're having a lot of tension problems, always start with the bobbin. So I went in there and it didn't look like I was going to have trouble with the bobbin that was in there, but I went ahead and switched it out with another preloaded one that I already had done. And sure enough, it worked out fine. My tension problems were gone. So thank you, Giselle. I appreciate that. Okay. We're going to talk about some Villa Rosa Designs, Quilt Wench. We are. Yeah, because I was gone. We left the 2nd of July, and I was gone for 6 weeks until the middle of August. And I had 2 sets of Villa Rosa Designs patterns come in. So I'm going to show you those too. Thank you, Harriet. I appreciate that. Quilting with Harriet. I had to FaceTime with her. I said, I can't remember how to use my Pro Stitcher. It's been 2 months. I need some help. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're welcome, Elizabeth. You learning the baby steps, bringing BX fonts into essentials. Good for you. Good for you. That's great. So, all right. So the last 2 days of last week, Thursday and Friday, I was going through all of my patterns that were on a shelving unit in my room here. And on Friday, Robin sent me an email, and she says, this is how I manage my pattern books and keep track of them. And she gave me the name of an app. And I've got it linked below. It's not sponsored. It's on the Apple Store or Google Play. And it is called It's called BookBuddy. And oh my gosh, you guys, what a game changer this is. It's got a little AI in it, kind of. Maybe a lot, I don't know. Anyway, I wish it had just a little bit more so I could take a picture of the front and it would pre-populate the fields that may be coming. So BookBuddy allows you to just create a catalog super easy of your books. And I'm also doing it for my patterns. And as of today, so it's free for your first 50 books. And when I reached the 50 book limit, it wanted $10 for a lifetime license to keep going. And I paid it without batting an eye because I absolutely love it. So I wanted to show it to you guys. Let me pull this down. So I have 115 of them in there already. And the reason I need to catalog my books is I love to buy multiples. I forget what I have. So to me, paying the extra $10, paying $10 to manage them all in my phone for the rest of my life was well worth not buying more patterns. So what I mean by that is I have 3 of these. The So Simple wallet by Annie. I think they're $10 or $12. So there's $24 I could have saved already not buying those other 2 duplicates. So that's what I think too, Debbie. Debbie says buying multiples is proof you really like it. And here's what happens. Here's what happens. You run across it in a store, okay? And you go, yes, I'm talking about the pattern books I just sorted, Betsy, absolutely. So you run it across it in the store and you go, or maybe I'm at festival and it's on sale or something. And I go, oh, I really want that. Do I have that? I can't remember if I have it or not. Well, I better get it. It's a good price and it's here, right? I'll deal with it later. That's how I think. And that costs me so much money. Here's another one. I have 2 of these. The Bonnie and Camille book that I just absolutely love, the sampler book. Y'all, this thing is $30. I paid retail for this and I have 2 of them. So let's take the $20. Let's say I paid $10 for these. So there's 2 extras. That's $50 in patterns I could have saved and books, not by spending $10. This is not sponsored, you guys. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to put something into BookBuddy. I don't like things that require a lot of, matter of fact, let me show you the icon first. I don't like things that require a lot of input from me, and I really like voice entry. So let me show you the icon. It's that little blue one with the book on it down at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, it's blurry. Let me get on my head here. The little blue one at the bottom with a book on it. That's BookBuddy, okay? Yes, Sandy says, thank you for this info. You can use the app. Okay, so let me show you this. Here's Moda All-Stars. Now, what this has a barcode scanner in it. And you need to have the ISBN, International Serial Number, book number. I don't know what all that stands for. Anyway, it has the ISBN catalog. It recognizes it, okay? So it will read it. So this is Moda All-Stars on a roll. This is from Martingale, okay, who's out of business now. So if I came across a Martingale book at, thrifting or something, I'd be like, oh, they don't make these anymore. Let me see, okay? Okay, there's a little plus sign up in the top. I'm going to hit my plus sign. That means I want to add a book. And I get a menu. Scan single barcode, multiple barcodes, search online, enter ISBN, or add manually. It's the add manually that I use for my patterns. So let me show you how easy this is to work, okay? I'm going to go scan single barcode. It activates my camera. It has a little window on there. And I'm just going to point it at the barcode. Oh, there it is, on the book. Let's do that. Did I wait too long? Hear that? Da-da-da-ding. Look at Moda All-Stars. Picture of the book, no less. Who the author is, who published it, everything. Really? Yes. And I just hit save. You can put a heart on it to make it a favorite if you want. Okay. That book is in. So what I was doing while I was sitting at the embroidery machine waiting for my stars to stitch out, I had a stack of books on my lap and I just started scanning. I bet you I did 3 or 4 hours worth of scanning this weekend, y'all. Oh, you do need the app, Kira. You definitely need the app. I'm telling you. Are they stored alphabetically? So, Connie, they're stored any way you want. Okay. So if I click on, so we have book filters on the front page, series, author, right in here. We have all these series, author, publisher, genre, date published, blah, blah. I don't worry about any of that. But if I go into, I have 116 books in there right now. This is blurry. Right here, 116. If I tap that, there they are. And you can just scroll through your books and they are stored alphabetically, yes. 10-minute blocks too, 20 table runner patterns, yeah. And it tells you who the publisher is and who the author is. So the author is, to me, the quilt designer. Let me go back to my books. Now let's talk about a book that's not in there. I want to show you how I do that. So So Simple, no, I was talking about 3 of these. I was wanting to do one that's going to be hard to put in. Do I have it? Okay. So let's do this autumn. Y'all, these are 20% off today. This is from Fabric Confetti. I have a link below. If you'd use my link, I appreciate it. It helps Vanessa keep track of stuff. So here's a pattern. This pattern's probably, I don't know, 30 bucks, maybe 50. Who knows, right? I don't want to buy it twice. Obviously, how do I remember if it's in my library at home? So this is not a book. So now I'm going to go to my plus sign. I need to put BookBuddy in the title of this video and I'll change it up. I'm going to go to add manually. Okay. Now this is what you get. You get a blank slate. So I'm going to move I'm going to move this. Okay. Blank slate. So I'm going to touch title. Okay. I touched title. Let me cancel that. I'm just going to tap on title and I'm going to activate my microphone. It's autumn in our neighborhood. Okay. So it capitalized all of the letters in the words for the title, which I want. I'm going to put save. I'm going to tap the blank book on there, the plus sign, and I'm going to scan photo. And what it does is it isolates or you can take a picture, either one. And it isolates it in a blue field. Okay. So now I have the picture. I'm going to tell it save, and it populated the picture of the pattern, so I know which one is which. And then series, it says none. I'm going to tap that, and I'm going to just type in here the wonky houses and save that. And author. Oh, okay. Author. I'm going to tap the name. Bruce Allen Designs. Save. And publisher. It'll make you put in an author or a publisher. And the publisher, I'm going to put Fabric Confetti. Save. So that's how easy it is to put in, because I got a lot of stacks of patterns, like the biannies are not there, right? And I'm going to tell it save. And now it's in there. So all my wonky houses patterns are going to be in there because I have, that series. So if I touch my series, I have 11 books in my On Wander Lane series. One of them's floating around November. It's in here somewhere. And then there they all are. And I've got pictures of them and everything. This is so stinking handy. So handy. If you're like me and you like to collect patterns and stuff, oh my gosh, y'all, it's crazy. So one other thing I wanted to show you, I already have, here's how you know you have duplicates. I already put in the Bonnie and Camille, okay? The first one I have. So I'm going to go back to my books. It makes the cutest little sound. I'm going to hit my plus sign, scan a single barcode. Oh, maybe I titled it something else. It's in here. It makes a want sound if you have duplicates. Did I take it out? Maybe the other one, I titled it something different manually. Anyway, you wish you had it earlier in your quilting life? Donna, just start. You know, just start. You can create your own genre. Yes, Debbie. She says, does it automatically create? You can create your own. So, y'all, this is one of these things. Eat that elephant one bite at a time. Because if you have shelves and shelves of patterns like I do, then you're going to be able to just take a handful. So last night I was watching American Ninja Warrior, right? And I just sat there loading in patterns that are not books. And I was loading them in manually and it worked perfect. So you want the shirt? Allie M. Tees. There's a link below. And she's going to be at Houston Festival. Allie is too. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. Huge. I wish it was going to make that wonk wonk. Oh, I know. I'll do this one again. So we'll do on a roll again. I know that I just put this one in here. Oh, it says attention. Ah, it did do it. It didn't make the sound. Attention. This book is already in your library. Save another copy. I'm going to tell it cancel and cancel. So I don't save that one. That's how I know I had two. That's how you know. Also, how do you know you need to manually enter something? I've got a barcode on the back of this Wonky Houses pattern. I really wanted to make one of these yesterday because I have a summer one up. I need to make a fall one. So I'm going to scan this. This is where you get the cute sound. Scan a single barcode. Will it do it? Honk, honk. Oh, funny. ISBN barcode required. That's how you know you need to put it in manually. Easy, guys. It's so easy. I love it. I love it. All right. So there's BookBuddy. Highly, highly recommend. Not sponsored. I love it. I wish somebody would have told me about it about $100 in extra patterns ago. That would have been really nice. Yes. All righty. It's one word in the Google Play Store. BookBuddy. Yeah. So I need to reach out to BookBuddy and go, hey, I'm promoting your stuff. Refund my $10. All right, you guys. Title of the video is the August SewSampler box. So like I said, I was gone in July. And did I do that one? There is a BookBuddy Pro. And I upgraded to that when I hit my 50 books. You can store 50 for free. And then it says, oh, you've filled up your freebie shelf. If you want more, you're going to need to cough up $10 for life, for a lifetime license. And y'all, that's cheap. I said, okay, no problem. So let me look at this one and make sure, see which one I have here. This was July. I can't remember if I showed you this or not. July's, I can't remember if we went over. So I'm going to run through July's really quick, just in case I didn't. This is the SewSampler box from the Fat Quarter Shop. And whenever you get a box, you'll always get codes for discounts and patterns on the inside. This was Summer Love. I think I did show you this. It's starting to feel familiar. From AGF Fabrics, this is Romantica. Very, very sweet, pretty stuff. Very sweet and pretty. A spool of Aurifil thread comes with it. The big, that's nice, a big spool. Clover Pink, Sweet Pink Wonder Clips. Can never have too many of those, ever. And a friction marker. I needed this dark one the other day because I was using my gray one and it was dry. So I needed another one. And then y'all use the friction markers, not the friction pens. Pens ghost really bad. Markers, some colors like the orange might ghost. So I don't use that one on my fabric, but okay. And then the quilt pattern to go with the fabric bundle is Serenade. You guys, if you live in a quilt desert, these are the best things. Best things. And then this is block 4 of the flowering quilt along. This is a mystery. I did show it. Okay, thanks. Just double checking. Can't hurt, right? Okay, so that was July's. Now let's look at August. All righty. SewSampler for August. And what I do with these, after I get done, I just take everything that's in it, incorporate what I want to keep into my sewing room. A lot of times the patterns go into the giveaway bins that I keep here for giveaway Fridays. Y'all, I bet you I have one ginormous Ron John surf shop bag from Cozumel, full, I'm taking to El Campo for our RV sew together. And then I have another stack of books about that tall. So I have really made a lot of space. So you're going to get your seam ripper tomorrow, Lynn? So he's decided, you don't think BookBuddy works with Android. It does. It's on Google Play. All one word. BookBuddy, all one word. Okay. So Helen, if you see BookBuddy all by itself, that's the free version. And it works. I loaded all 50. Then there's BookBuddy Pro. BookBuddy Pro, you're paying your $10 right off the bat, but the free version allows you 50. Okay, the app is blue. It's not the only blue app. You know what I really don't like about the iStore, the Apple? So I'll tell it I want to download. I'm specifically looking for BookBuddy, and the first thing that comes up is not BookBuddy. It's something else close to that that's promoted by whoever's selling that app. Sometimes you have to scroll and look for the icon. That's why I showed you that blue icon with a book. BookBuddy Pro is the paid version. You can put as many books as you want in it. BookBuddy is the non-paid version, and you can only put 50. But when you reach 50, you'll get a little notice that says, do you want to upgrade to BookBuddy Pro? And I told it yes and paid my $10 on my phone, and off I went. All right. I hate that. I know, Helen. I hate that. If yours isn't blue, it's the wrong one. Yeah. So the lady, Robin, who told me about this app, she sent me screenshots. Okay. So let's do August. August, we have a live stream you can watch. We have National Sew a Jelly Roll Day coming up on September 20th. Ooh. SewSampler savings enjoy 20% off all Charm Pack patterns. And it gives you a code. You get a QR code and a discount code if you're on their website. So that's cool. And then you also get a humdinger of a pattern. Woo! Charm Pack Crispies Shortcut Quilt. I don't know that I would call this a shortcut quilt. Look at that quilt. Holy moly, y'all. Look at that. That's crazy. I wouldn't do that. Okay. I don't have enough time. So you always get a little paper telling you these. I think these boxes, $29.95. I think not one, not two, but 3 Benartex charm packs to make. Whenever they send a charm pack too, if you get 2 of them, a lot of times you can use their Jolly Bar quilts. You know, you can sew those together. No, that won't work. That won't work. You have to have a full 10 inches. And by the time you sew them together, your seam allowance, that doesn't work. Disregard. So we got 3 of these, very pretty. Y'all, I don't know if it's on Android. Somebody said it's on Android. Somebody in the chat just said, yes, Banner Text is upping their game. Yes, Helen, they sure are. Somebody just said, y'all, it's one word. BookBuddy is one word. If you put book space buddy, the search engine may not find it. Okay, so we got 3 charm packs. We have, what does this say? Where's my glasses? I can't see. Okay. Air erasing sew line. I guess that's handy if you're stitching right at the machine, but a lot of times I leave my lines too long. BookBuddy is one word. Red icon on Android. Ah, Debbie, okay. Not a blue icon. Red icon on Android. Interesting. Okay. All righty. Okay, red icon for Android, blue icon for Apple. All right. And the pattern that you get with the charm packs is Rain Lilies table runner pattern. That is so pretty. I love the blues that are in now, you guys. It's like they finally come around again. People are making blues. And you need a 4-in-1 hexi ruler from Creative Grids to make this pattern. So they put it in the box for you. Isn't that nice? Love this. Love this. Okay. And then the flowering block for block 5 is Sweet as Honeysuckle block. Very cute. Yeah, Linda, not buying duplicates absolutely makes it worth the purchase. Yep. It doesn't work on your phone? Okay. It's not a quilty app, Cindy. It's a book management app. It's called BookBuddy, managing your sewing books and patterns. Okay. So that was the boxes there. These are a great way to build your stash. If you're brand new to quilting, wonderful way to get some stuff going. And then if you want to make that full quilt pattern, they on the back have a finishing kit and tell you exactly what fabrics and how much you need, which you can order. So, all righty. So there's that. That's good that that is out of the way. So let's talk about Villa Rosa Designs. Now, Villa Rosa Designs makes an app. Villa Rosa Designs, your friends love it when you buy duplicates. I know, right? I know the folks down in El Campo are going to enjoy it. So I love the Villa Rosa Designs app. Let me find it. Oh, I hit a B, not a V. V-I. There it is. Looks like a little rose. All right. Villa Rosa Designs app works for both Android and Apple. Okay. So this is where all of the Villa Rosa Designs patterns are in this app. And I love this app. If you have a pre-cut, especially a panel or a pre-cut, fat quarters, whatever it is that you have, they have a few for yardage, but you can come in here and you can sort. Let me clear my filters and make sure nothing's going to come up wrong. Okay. So you've got this pre-cut in your hand and you go, what am I going to make with this? All right. So I just got 3 charm packs from SewSampler. And I don't want to make the table runner. Maybe this will make a little table topper or a quilt or something, right? And so these all come up, okay? I can hit, there's a filter up here in the corner. I'm going to hit this. And it's got new cards, project type, fabric requirements. So let me come down to 5-inch squares. Okay, they're all here. I'm going to tip 5-inch squares, and hit the filter button again. And all of the patterns that they have with 5-inch squares come up. And then you can filter through and decide which one you want. Now, you cannot purchase patterns on the app. They wanted to do that, but they haven't done it yet. It's been a couple of years. So if you find one you like, put it in your favorites. You can put it in your favorites on the app. And then you can go home to your computer or even on your phone, you can go to villarosadesigns.com and purchase the pattern and do a digital download for instantaneous gratification. Because I know a lot of us are like that. So it's very, very handy way to figure out what to do with these pre-cuts that you get. And you're like, I don't know, right? Okay. I love seeing Pat Fryer. She's the owner of Villa Rosa Designs. And she has a couple of pattern designers with her too at the shows. I just saw them at Road to California last January. Right. So the On Wander Lane, it says there is no ISBN, Brenda says, and I can't figure out how to enter it. You need to enter it manually. Look down at the bottom. It has to scan the barcode, and the last one says add manually. And I showed you how to do that using this wonky houses pattern, because it doesn't have an ISBN either. You have to add it manually. And you don't have to type everything. You can use the microphone on your phone. Very handy. Alrighty, so one of these is July and one of them is August, and I don't know which. Villa Rosa Designs has a pattern club, and you get 5 patterns a month for $8.95 free shipping. Also, she always has free shipping on her website for her fabric too. Y'all sign up for her emails. They're wonderful. So I can't remember which is which. And then she also has a table runner pattern club. Am I going to Road to California this year? I don't know, Sharon. So she has a table runner as well. And if they put a table runner pattern out and you have a credit card on file, it's $1.75 per pattern. So that'll get added to your order. Okay. On the Villa Rosa Designs app, you don't see where I went to find the fabric requirement filter. Clear your filters. Go up to the filter and hit that. Hit clear filters. And then hit filter again, and you can find it. Okay, so let's talk about it. I think this is August. I can't remember. I can't remember, guys. So this one just has the 5 patterns. Again, $8.95 a month, free shipping. The first one is Lady Banks. This is a fabulous pattern for beginners. It finishes at 45 by 60, and it uses 10 fat quarters. But look at it. There are no... I'm sorry, the glare. There are no diagonal seams in this pattern, and it's great. So I'm going to do this. I'll let you see it. So if you have a bundle of variegated fat quarters, that'll work great. Okay. Here is Jasper. If you want to work on your points, a good one. This uses 12 fat quarters. It's small. It finishes at 36 by 48. Okay. And you can see on the diagram what it looks like there. Pretty cool. Same block over and over and over and over. Is it jelly roll friendly? No. Pam, there are quilts for jelly rolls. This one is not. This one says it uses 10 fat quarters. Okay. So here's Jolene, and Jolene looks a lot like Jasper. Jolene and Jasper. I think they just turn the blocks different ways. No, this uses 12 fat quarters with a little accent. This is huge, y'all. It finishes at 63 by 84. Jolene. 63 by 84. Isn't that cute? That'd be so cute. Pinks and reds. Pink and green. Beautiful quilt for a tween. Love it. Love, love, love. Grays, blacks, grays and blacks, different values for boys. Love it. Love it. Okay, and we have graded, G-R-A-T-E-D, not graded like a test. Okay. This is graded. This is, it takes 42 10-inch squares. So a layer cake. How about that? It finishes at 65 by 75. Very nice. And for your panels, here is Snapshot. Okay, they've got this one in here, Snapshot. And it uses a panel with 3 blocks that can be cut 22.5 by 13.5. And it uses 7 or 7 fat quarters. There you go. And there's the diagram on that, so you can see it. All righty. It's BookBuddy, all one word, Jackie, and it's a red icon. Y'all in the chat. I know Debbie's helping y'all out. Okay. And then the other month that came in, we had 5, it's either July or August. I wasn't here, so I don't know when they came in. Okay. 5 patterns and 1 table runner. So again, very easy quilt for beginners. This also uses 10 fat quarters. It's called Snowdrop. I'm going to put my face in front of it so it quits being blurry. Snowdrop. Can you machine quilt a Rosa design? Sure, Kara, absolutely. This finishes at 42 by 60, no diagonal seams. Doesn't even have any sashing in it. How about that? 10 fat quarters. Okay. And then we have a panel. This is the month for panel patterns for sure. This is Fondue. Okay. Fondue finishes at 49 by 63. And it uses a larger panel, 27.5 by 41.5. Show you guys what it looks like. Okay. That's nice. All right. Happy Days. Y'all, their pictures are always so busy. It's hard to see what's what. That's why I show you the back. Another panel pattern, Happy Days. This is adorable. This, the fabric is a 22 by 24. I'm sorry, 22 to 24 by 41-inch panel. And then smaller ones that come along with it. You know, sometimes there'll be multiples. This finishes at 36 by 41. So let me give you this. Hold on. You can see the diagram there, how that works. You can't really see that. It's difficult to see. Now, the back doesn't have the border on it. The front has the border on it, okay? Zonia, I think that's how it's pronounced. A little bit more intermediate quilt. Very cute. This would be good in solids. Main fabric, 10 fat quarters, 2 1/8 yards of white. And it's 12-inch blocks that finishes at 48 by 60. Zonia. Let me see. Show that to y'all. That's how that looks. Just one up, one to the side, one up, one to the side. Yep. Who's managing the virtual kitchen? We got anything in there? Hey, you guys, if you're watching, take a moment. If you like the content, hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on TV, grab your television remote and stand that up. Stand that up. I was thinking, my brain, y'all. Hit the channel up button if you would. We bought a new TV this weekend. My husband, he stood it up in the back of the Jeep and had to reach back in his Loadmaster skill days to get it strapped down with. Anyway, he did great. It got home without incident and is now up on the wall. Willow. This is really good for what we call focus fabrics, maybe big, bold prints. Willow finishes at 60 by 78. It is 72 by 90 with an optional border. Okay. And I'll show you guys the diagram. Willow. Pretty easy. Very easy quilt. Okay. And then the table runner for that month was Bubblegum. Very simple. Easy little runner. Bubblegum. It uses 8 fat 6, which are 12 by 21. And it is 20 by 50. Finishes at 20 by 50. So this is nice by 50. This is nice for a picnic table or a buffet, something like that, something big. All right. And then this fell out of one of the books I was logging, Sorrento. This is an old pattern and it fell out. This is another great beginner quilt. Uses 9 fat quarters with 5/8 of a yard for contrast. Finishes at 54 by 66. Very easy. Very simple quilt if you're brand new to quilting, Sorrento. I've shown you this one before, who knows when, but it fell out of a book. Okay. So that's for Villa Rosa Designs patterns that came in while I was gone on our jaunt around the country. So let's talk about Autumn Love. I needed to get some Autumn Love work done this weekend. Autumn Love is an embroidery version of a quilt by Lori Holt for Riley Blake Designs. Y'all, I can't talk this morning for some reason. Oh, there's cinnamon buns on the left of the coffee. Awesome. Y'all, I walked by at Costco. There was an employee there. She was working the cinnamon roll sample, and they always do them right. Anyway, she was right by the breakfast food refrigerated section. You come around the corner and the smell hits you, and she looks like she's probably in her 60s. And she looks like she's a lifetime Weight Watchers member, if you know what I mean. Those of us that are down with the struggle, we know what we look like, right? And she's got this look of misery on her face. And I walk around the corner and I smell that cinnamon. I said, oh my goodness, that smells fabulous. And she says, I think I made somebody in management mad because they put me on this snack station. I laughed. That was hilarious. I said, I know, it's just cruel, isn't it? Oh my gosh. That was cruel. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys what I did. There are, on the 6x10 quilt for this. Thank you, Darlene. Double thumbs up. Atta girl. Yeah. She says, I'm watching on my phone and my TV. So the reason people watch on their phone and TV, they like the big screen TV to watch it. And then if I say, check a link down below, and it's something they want, they have their phone handy so they can hit the more ... jump down there and find it. Otherwise, sometimes they might be gone by the time you find your phone. Anyway. Okay. So let's take a look here at my stars. Look how beautiful those turned out. Just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. This is using Designs by Juju's Magic Mesh and Lofty Soft Batting. I'm also using Designs by Juju's Plaid background quilt as you go. Thank you. All right. So I did a little in embrilliance. So these, as the pattern is written, which is not a quilt as you go, as the pattern is written, this is one block, 3 stars are one block, and 3 stars are another block, and you're supposed to sew them together in the middle. And the finished size diagram shows 2 3/4 by 15. So I needed a 2 3/4 by 15. I chose I think it's a 3 by 14 background stitching, and just sized it down. Okay. So I want to take you through what I did and how I did it and how easy, incredibly easy this was. So, all right. So I did use the color sort feature in Brilliance, and you only need essentials for this, okay? Because everything I did, I merged designs and all that, and I did that. So the way I did it, when you're going to use, if you've got it in your head, you're going to make multiples, okay? You got it in your head, you're going to make multiples. Then what you need to do is to fix one first, exactly like you like it. You need to get it exactly right, and then you'll copy and paste it and make a couple, okay? And then go in and change any fabric thread colors you need to, so that things don't stitch where you don't want them to on your final stitch colors. So Let me show you how I did this. I'm going to go into, I took some pictures while I was doing it. So I'm going to share my screen with y'all into my iCloud photos so we can take a look at these. All right. So I'm going to show you this one first. So I went into, this is Brother Canvas, and this started as one placement stitch for a star. I used the same shape for every star. So then it was right click duplicate to make two. Then I circled two of them. I selected two of them, right click duplicate to make four. And I made all of the stars that I needed to get as many as I needed on one mat. And one star was like 1.67 by 1.67. So I figured I needed a 2.5-inch square of fabric. I like to have a little bit extra fabric. Okay, so I'm going to go backwards a bit. Let me go back here and let's see. How did I get back? Like this. Okay, so now I put all of my fabric on the mat. I don't have these in the right order. I don't know why. I was taking pictures willy-nilly. So this is how the hot fix adhesive, these are the pieces that I had, and I just put them, you know, I peeled off, I put them all on one sheet like I do, and then I cut it because it was a weird shape of, it had a cutout on the hot fix adhesive anyway. So this is where all of the fabric went. I scanned in the mat, and this is what I got. And then I could move all of my stars around so that they all went onto the mat like they needed to, all right? And then you can't beat this. Gotta love this. It took 4 minutes to cut out all of those stars. Absolutely love it, okay? And this is what I ended up with in 4 minutes, y'all. All day long, I will do this all day long. I will go through the trouble to do this, right? Okay, there's that one again. So let's talk about it. My first was a color sort with I put all the placement lines first, and then see, this is one block. And then I took all of the placement lines from number 2 and put them up here as well. So now, so this is one block, there's 3 placement lines, and here's the other 3. This is what I want this to look like. So I took all of the placement lines and put them first, and then I put all of the final stitching. I deleted all of the tack down stitches. I don't need them because I'm ironing these down. Okay, that's what one block looked like. I told you it's not in any kind of order. I don't know what I was doing. So then I put the background quilting behind it. Okay, and this was my final design. This is the big 10 5/8 by 16 for the luminaire. Okay, so this right here is the background stitching. This one right there is background stitching for all 3 at one time, one thread color. Here is the placement lines, one thread color, because I did a color sort, and that's up in the utility color sort menu here. And here are all of the placement lines for all 18 stars in one go. Okay. And then I made sure every one of these final stitches was a different color thread. It doesn't matter what color it is. It just needs to be different so that it did a color stop after each star and then stitched one at a time so that they would be different colors. Okay. So that's how I did that. Let me get back to y'all. Yes, you can make all the stars for a flag. I've done that before. Yes, you sure can. Do I use a different star than the original? You're not understanding the creating stars in Canvas. I used the original star. And then uploaded it. I created a placement line and uploaded it into Brother Canvas. I created an applique placement line, applique position, uploaded it into Canvas, and just right-click, duplicate. Or you can do right-click, copy, right-click, paste, whatever you want. Was the background quilting done all at once? Yes. Was it the last item to stitch out? No, it was the first. It was the first item to stitch out. I want the background quilting behind. Okay. All right. Our hour is almost up. I know some of you have to leave. If you want, I will take a couple of minutes and see if I can, I'll take a couple of minutes and go through how I color sorted those if you would like. Okay. And I'll stick on here. But if you are leaving, I hope you have a fabulous day. I want you to go sew something and come back tomorrow morning and we'll visit again, and give me a thumbs up before you go and subscribe. Okay. So our hour is going to be up. So I'll show you. I'm going to take a couple extra minutes and show you how I color sorted these. Okay. I actually did it on my desktop Windows. Dee says, take all the time you want. I want to see how that's done. This is so handy. When you're going to make multiples, this is so crazy handy. I was a little bummed I couldn't do it on the multi-needle. That would have been fabulous, but I don't have a large enough hoop on the multi-needle. The largest hoop on the multi-needle is a 14, and that strip, when put together, the final size of it is 15. So it didn't fit, dang it. All right, I'm going to color sort. Karen says, I'm here. I don't have to be anywhere till Thursday at 5. I'm good. If you have a smaller hoop, could you do a split hoop using Enthusiast? Yes. Yes, you can. If you have Enthusiast, yes, you can. We're not going to get into that. All right, so let's do this, shall we? Let me get into Embrilliance here on my MacBook. I'm going to get it rolling and go back to y'all. Okay. This is not a tutorial. I'm going to run through it quick. So if you want to take notes, I recommend you just watch me through. All right, that's it, you guys. Here's our hour. But I'm going to keep going to show you how I color sorted these stars. So if you want to, I recommend you watch it through, and then at the 1 hour, go back into the video and take a note, stop the video, take a note, stop the video, take a note, right? Okay. So here we go. So your largest is only a 6x10. Sandy, you can do it in a 6x10 with split hooping and Enthusiast. You sure can. See, the reason you have to split the hoop is because the whole design is a 15. If you try to bring it up on a 6x10 machine, it's going to tell you, no, it won't even recognize the design. But you can split it into half, which is going to be 2 3/4 by 7.5, which will fit in your 6x10, and then the other half. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to share my entire screen with you guys, and we're going to get into the infinity screen for a minute, and let's share. And then I need to go back to Embrilliance and take a look. All right. So here I am. This is a 6x10 hoop. I can see down here. I'm going to come up to my largest hoop in my preferences, and I want to go to this one for the XP1. It means the Luminaire or Solaris, and tell it, okay, apply, and okay. I want it horizontal, so I'm going to double click on the hoop at the bottom, and that didn't work. Why didn't it work? Let's see. Why didn't it work? Well, let me double click. Didn't work. Okay. That's an Apple thing, you guys. Let's go maybe edit, utility view, my draw hoop. I'm not going to fiddle with rotated. It doesn't matter. I'll do it this way. Okay. I got to get the design. So I'm going to open. And it's in my documents, I think, and embroidery. And it's not there. Where did I put it? Documents. I'll probably need to go over to my desktop. I think I do. This is going to take too long and y'all don't want to watch me poke around. Let me stop sharing. Okay. So hold on. I'm going to swap over to my desktop so we can do it over there. Okay. All right. So let's do this. I know patches. It just wasn't right now. I don't want to take too long and have you guys annoyed with me doinking around. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get into embroidery. I have it up here. I'm going to show you how I did this. And I have to share my entire screen so you can see my all right. Let me pull up my YouTube on my phone so I can see what you see and I can see your chat. Hold on a second here. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Michelle's telling me echo. Oh, I see what you're seeing. Just a second here. Oh, I see what you're seeing. Just a second here. Okay. There we go. All right. That better, Michelle? Thank you for the heads up on that. So this is that final design. And as you can see here, let me turn off 3D so you guys can see what I see. All right. So that's the background quilting. There are the stars, placement lines, and then each individual star has a different color so that it stitches and does a color stop, and I can change the thread color. All right. So how I got here, I'm going to do a new. And now when I double click the hoop, it rotates just fine. And I'm going to bring in, I have it in my quick open a new window. All right, PES 6x10. Here is sashing unit 1. And that's all I used, you guys. I did not use sashing unit 2. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe I did. I can't remember. Okay. So sashing unit 1. Now this is a quilt as you go. Okay, pretty much. It wants you to put your fabric down, tack it down, put your fabric down pretty side down. It'll stitch it, fold it back over, and then it'll stitch the star. I don't want any of that. So the first thing that I did was I rotated it 90. Okay, and then I came in here and I got rid of all of these quilt as you go stitches. So I can see the first and just kind of click through them, recognize what's what. I don't need any of these. So I'm going to highlight the first one. Once you get the hang of this, you'll be all over it. This looks, I'm not sure. This is, it says stitch and flip. Not sure what that is. And the Saturn gray is always a tack down. I'm going to hold down my shift key and click this and hit delete on my keyboard. Get rid of all of those. Okay. My final line is that. What is this? I don't need that. I'm going to hit delete. All right. So all I'm left with now are the 3 stars and the single block. This is the 6 by 10, y'all. Okay. So in here, you have a placement line, a tack down, and a final stitch. Because I'm using the Hot Fix adhesive as a substrate, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put delete. So everything that is Saturn gray is a tack down. Delete, go through it, find the next one, delete, go through it, find the next one, and delete. So what I'm left with now are placement stitch, placement stitch, placement stitch, right? And then final stitches. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And then the final box. Okay. So I want another one of these. I'm going to right click on it, copy, right click and paste. It pasted right on top. I'm going to move it over here. Oh, not that. Hold on. Let me delete that. I need another one of these, the whole thing. Make sure it's all highlighted. Right click, copy, right click, paste. And I'm going to move it over. And I'm using my arrow keys because that will keep them aligned better. Okay. So now I have 2. Let me scooch this over. I have number 1 and number 2. Okay. Let me highlight number 1 and I want to scooch that over. You do need to play around with the alignment just a little bit because they're too close in here. And so I did go in and do some movement. So the trick is to get all of these. All right. You want this done at one time. Okay. So I'm going to highlight this last outline. That is I'm going to stitch right inside of this line right here. I'm going to hit delete on the keyboard and I'm going to highlight the one on the first, and I'm going to take this and drag it all the way over to make one line. Now up here in the top, I can see I've got my sizes. The finished size is 2 3/4 by, is it 2 3/4 or 2.5? Let me look. Let me look. It is 2. The finished size is 2 by 7.5. So 2, okay, that tells me what that is. All right. So on this, I'm going to make sure the lock is unlocked so we do not scale. I don't want to constrain the proportions. I want this to be 2.0 inches and I want this to be 15. 7.5 twice is 15. Perfect. So now is when I went in and kind of rearranged all the stars. You want to make sure when you rearrange your stars that you are rearranging the placement line and the final stitch together. Okay. So I'm going to highlight all of these 3 and just move them over a little bit. Okay. And this is where it takes a little bit of time to go in. So I'm too close here and too far over here. Let's say they are even. Okay. I did try to use, this and then hold down the control key, this, and come up to align and distribute and click distribute and make sure the spacing was right across. Okay. And hit apply, and it didn't do anything. So if you can get that to work, that's great. I didn't bother with it. But the trick is You can't just move this. If I just move this, the placement line underneath it, I'll move it up. The placement line underneath it stays put, okay? You're going to do that to me? Okay. Oh. So you have to move the placement line and the final stitch all at one time. All right. So we're going to pretend that these are all even. Now, all I'm going to do is take this one placement stitch, okay? Come down here to the color chip. I'm going to right click, applique position. Click on the color chip, left click. Okay. And you need to make sure that all of your applique position are the same color. So I'm going to double click this. I'm going to left click it again. I'm going to go to applique. And I did an inflate of 0.2 millimeters. Why? Brand new mat, little sticky, stretched them out a little bit. Everything worked beautiful. I'm only going to save this one. And I saved it as Autumn Love -1 star SVG and save. Do I want to replace it? I'll tell it yes. Dots per inch, 96. Okay. And okay. So now I need to go to Brother Canvas. I'm going to go to new. And I'm going to hit the SVG button and choose the file. And a lady wrote me and said, I don't use Edge, and how come it's doing that? And I don't like that icon. And I told her, where did I save that thing? I think I saved it in Autumn Love, right? SVG file format is not native to Windows. It doesn't know what to do with it. Just ignore it. It's still an SVG file. Just ignore that. It automatically assigns that. It doesn't know. So there's my Autumn Love 1 star SVG and open and okay. So I'm going to take this, okay, right click, duplicate. There's 2. I'm going to put 4 per 6-inch quadrant on this mat. Right click, duplicate. Right there. Right click, duplicate. Like this. This is how easy this is, you guys. I can do, again, I want 8. Right click, duplicate, bring those down. So now I'm up to 16 stars. I did have a 24-inch mat, so I went on down. If you want to use the 24-inch mat, go up to project and click 12 by 24. That'll make it bigger. So you can make as many as you need, and that's exactly how I did that. And then I hit the download button, and I downloaded it to Scan and Cut Transfer, and that's how I cut them all out. Okay, so let's go back to Embrilliance. I'm going to go get my coffee. You guys talk amongst yourselves for just a second. Okay, so now we're pretending that all of these, or if you're in the military, we say simulate. We're pretending that all of these are aligned perfectly, evenly, and this is almost my finished block. Okay, so now I want to put in the background quilting. All right. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Before I put in the background quilting, I need to move all of my placement lines so they stitch first. So I'm going to highlight. I'm not going to get the top one. I'm going to highlight this one and hold down the control key, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. I'm going to bring them up, grab it, not on the words, but on the picture, grab it and hover it over the one you want it to be after. And that makes all of these the same, makes them all the same. Okay. So I want all of these. These are all Carolina red, except for this one. And I did change these for some reason. I'm going to do that anyway. So click it, dark fuchsia. There was a reason. I can't remember what it was, but I just went through and made all of these dark fuchsia brother. Instead of the Raleigh Blake Designs, they were using Floriani. I can't remember what she was using. Okay. You want all of these to be the same color so they all stitch at the same time. Okay. You don't want a needle stop in between each one of these. On a single needle, I want these to stitch all in one go. They have to be the same color in order to do that. All right. This looks good. So now what I have is all of my placement lines are going to stitch, and then all of my different of these. Now, if this one is deviled orange when I color sort, this one too, these are going to stitch in the same needle stop. I don't want that. So all of my duplicates need to be, one of them has to be a different color. So I'm going to click on the color chip, left click, just choose anything. And I usually pick the one that's right below whatever. So it's one below. Pay attention to that. Okay. So now, if you look in the stitch simulator, what's going to happen is it's going to stitch all of these in one shot, and then it's going to do that one, and then this one. And then I see how it's doing that. All right. So now everything, this is how you prep for color sorting. You can't just color sort stuff. It doesn't, there's a little prep work that's involved. So now I want to put in the background quilting. So I am going to open up my folder, and that is this one. It's the 2x14 is what I used. And I'm going to grab it and bring it in. So I'm prepping this all at one time. It brought it in on the bottom right away. Right click, move first. So it's up at the top now. It's going to stitch before the stars. All right. I need to rotate it 90. And then it's got a lot of stitching in it that I don't need. It has a lot of placement lines and tack downs. I'm going to click the top one, hold the shift key, get the last one, hit delete. So now what we have, background quilting. And then we have these, this right here, this outer line. I'm going to leave it as is for right now. Okay. So we have one pretty much completely done. Again, we're pretending that it is evenly spaced. Okay. So Control A to select all, right click, copy, right click. No, I want to color sort it first. Let's go do that. Control A to select all. Utility, color sort. It says the design has been sorted but not reduced, and that's fine. So let's click New View. Don't click Save It. New View. All right, so what we have is now we have all of the background quilting is one stitch. Here's all of the placement lines there. And where are the other three? Where'd the other placement lines go? Well, that didn't work the way I wanted. Huh. That's just three, not the other three. Okay, that's no good then. So just delete. And do you want to save it? No. And we'll go back. Because it's sorted properly here, I have all 6. Oh, that's because that says applique position in dark fuchsia. It should be the same. That's weird. I don't know why that's doing that. Let me make another one that says dark fuchsia and bring it up here. Hover it over the one I want it to be after. And then delete that applique position. So that would give me
the same color, dark fuchsia. And see these right here, I'm going to sort these to make them just a little bit easier for me. All right, so that puts them all in number 2. And then there. Okay, well, whatever's going on. Anyway, so now I've got them all copied. Okay. All right. I've got them all copied in here. I've made sure everything is a different color. Now, I made sure everything was a different color so that they don't all stitch at the same time. So now Control A to select all, right click, copy, right click, paste. It pastes on top. I want to take that. I'm going to move it down. Okay. And right click, paste, and move it up. Now, I made it so that my first one, I put it up at this side of the hoop. The second one was here and the third one was here. It doesn't really matter. The machine's going to move all around. But what you've got to do now, I got to go in and take, this is the background quilting. All right. And this is the background quilting. So I'm going to highlight them both using my control key and drag them up. So now it's going to stitch background quilting, and background quilting. That messes with my brain. I like them to go 1, 2, 3. Anyway, I didn't align it right. So that's what I want first. And now I have, see, these are doing all of this because this is that one I copied and I changed the color on it. I don't know why it's doing that. That bothers me because it's not anywhere else. It didn't pick it up. Why didn't that work? What I have here. So there's the background quilting, all this color sorted to be all one stitch. And then I got all my stars together, all in one stitch. That's why. And then final. That's how I did that. But the thing you've got to do once you get those stars, y'all, I'm sorry. So, yep, that's exactly what I wanted. So other than it not selecting that first star, which annoys me no end, that's exactly how I did it. So now we have background. We're going to pretend it's all 6. Y'all, at the very end, oh, I know what I ended up doing. So I didn't mess with this star, this one star. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't mess with the one star. Where are the stars? Placement lines. Okay. So I didn't mess with the one star. What I did, if I can remember, is I copied it to a new tab and created the applique placement line from that. So in the beginning, what I did, I'll show y'all. See those? So before I color sorted them, I just clicked on one. I did a copy. I created a new and then pasted it here. Okay. Not all 6. It was just one. And then I saved this one as applique position. Okay. And saved that one. And then I uploaded that one. I didn't mess with it while it was while it was in with the other 5. Okay, so once you have all this done, then you can color sort the whole thing. And it says it's reduced by 14 color changes. Let's do new view, see what we've got. So here's all of our background quilting. Okay. And then you can go through and reorder these to however you want. But see, I don't want to color sort here. So now it's going to do all 3 of them the same color. I don't want that. Do I want to save? No. This is where you have to go in. And you got to go through these. And you have to change each one so it's a different color. Then they will do sort individually. That's clear as mud. Okay. Would you set it up all before you color sort? Yes. Color sorting is the very last step. Very last step, y'all. Okay. So I have many videos on color sorting where I'm not sitting here flying by the seat of my pants. You guys, I should have changed the colors after I copied and pasted. Yes. You need to do that. After you copy and paste, you need to go in and change each of so the first ones are their own colors. Then the second ones all need to be a different color. And the third ones all need to be a different color. And that will make it so that you get a color stop between each one. What color did I use for the thread for the background color? It's just a tiny bit darker than the fabric so that you could see it. Okay. Midge, don't you have Debbie White's email? I don't know. So that's how I did that. But I do have pre-recorded videos. Just type in into YouTube search, Power Tools with Thread Color Sorting, and it'll tell you how to do it. I made plenty of mistakes along the way. It took me about an hour yesterday to go through and get that exactly like I wanted it. Okay. And well worth the time. It just, you don't, okay. I have it. I will forward it to you and you two can talk back and forth. So I need to have more stars. I know. All right, you guys, thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate those of you who stuck around to see that. Play with color sorting. Watch. I've got a short video, like 11 minutes or something, but play with color sorting, change your life, make it so that when you're doing multiples, everything you want stitches at one time. All the background quilting first, then all the placement line for your stars, and then the final stitch for all of your stars is a different color on the chart. It doesn't matter what color it is on the computer because you're going to change the threads at the machine and it does not matter. All right, y'all. I need some breakfast. Real breakfast. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all go sew something. See you soon. Bye.